Good morning. Welcome back. I have been out of town for the weekend working, dog sitting. And so, of course, while I was out of town, all I could think about were all the things I wanted to get done when I got home. So it's Monday morning and I'm ready to get cracking on some stuff here. And what I want to get cracking on is this parlor. Get it ready to paint. Some goodies coming in the next couple days that I ordered while I was out of town because I couldn't do anything else. And so I have, as you can see over my shoulder, covered up the colors I decided against with the color I decided on. So it's going to be this beautiful green. It is called Oakmoss, which just makes my little woodland fairy witch heart happy as can be to have that color. And it's not as dark as the other color, which I also love the name of, Secret Garden, which is a really deep, almost black. I've covered up all the swatches of that. I don't have any of that to show you. It's in some lights, it's almost a black, not quite, but it's a really dark green and it's lovely. It's rich, it's beautiful. And this room does get a lot of light. Right now I have morning light coming in here and it's beautiful, but I was a little afraid that I'm not afraid of deep colors and I'm not afraid of color, but as can be attested by that bright blue room in the other room, I just felt that Oakmoss was going to be a better choice for this room. I think it looks so beautiful with the red woodwork, red tones in the woodwork and the deep floors and all the things. So that's my color of choice. It's a Sherwin-Williams color. And I have just a quart sample of it right now that I've been slapping on the walls here and there. And so today I'm going to empty this room and get it ready to start cutting in and painting. I'm gonna paint the ceiling in here, which is the first ceiling that I'm painting in this house. So that should be interesting to say the least. But today it's just about emptying this room out so that I can get paint maybe later today. But if nothing else, I will take the quart that I have and start cutting in what I can reach that I don't have to get the ladder out for. And then, like I said before, I think painting this room is not gonna, the actual rolling on of the paint's not gonna take that long. It's gonna be a lot of prep work. Also, I don't know if I'll even get to cutting today because I have a lot of nail holes that need patching. So that's gonna happen, and rough spots on the wall that need sanding. And yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do today. Littlest sandy work. Probably should toss it. So the room is basically empty except for the china hutch, which kind of have to empty, get the sliders, and I think I'm just going to slide it into the lounge when I'm fixing to do that, which will be a minute. But I never showed you all, I don't think I showed you my operating walkout window, which is exciting. It also made me, I have to be a walkout window for the cat too, but here we go. Ugh. Again, this window, I am 5.5 foot tall. So this window's kind of tall. Those windows that don't go to the floor, the paint, just the parts, that's the sashes, not the trim, are 7 feet tall. So this is at least 10. And so this blind, oh God, it's so heavy to pull up. It's really operational. All right, that's it. Now I gotta get the lock. There we go, okay. How cool is this? Step out, back in. And fortunately, probably because it's on the porch, this window is in pretty good shape. Here comes a little stinky kitten who wants to get outside. But since it's nice out, I'm gonna screen in here for now. Shut this. There we go. All right. Whew. Now it's gonna move that, and there's a few more nails and picture hangers and whatnot up higher than I could reach my hand. So I'm gonna do that and then go get my spackle. Is done. There's a lot more prepping that needs to be done. I really just need to wash these walls. The amount of dust and cobwebs on them is not good. But I think what I'm going to do today, since I've got everything empty, and probably put another coat on some of the spots and etc. I think I'm going to go get my sudsy water and the woodwork in this house. I've discussed it in another, and I showed a video in another, or a bit in another video about waxing. But I have done a little more research and been thinking about it and figuring it out. Some of this woodwork is in pretty good shape. Some of it's in very, very rough shape. And I did a little experiment the other day. I don't know what order these videos are going to come out, but on my front door. And I used linseed oil, boiled linseed oil on the front door, just to, as a stopgap measure to keep it, to feed it a little bit, to give it a little moisture. It looks pretty good. If that video is already out and you've already watched it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, it'll be out and you can catch it. But in my research with linseed oil, I discovered blopentine. It's fun. It's boiled linseed oil and turpentine. So blopentine is probably how it's probably pronounced. It's a 50-50 mixture of the two, and the turpentine helps the linseed oil soak in even further, and it is a really good primer, if nothing else, for old wood, or restorer for old wood. And so I think these knee walls here where the pillars sit on, especially the one closer to the front door, are really rough shape. They got some water stains on them. They have scratches and things. So I think my intention, my idea is, and if you know better than I do, please pop into the comments and tell me. But my intention is I'm going to finish cleaning these up, although I think I only have like this wall over here and maybe part of that wall to do, plus over here behind me in the little wood box. Scrub them up, get all the grime off of them that I can get off of them. And then I'm going to blopentine them. And then if I feel that they still need another something, or my research continues to show that this will be the right thing to do, I'm going to put a coat of shellac on the woodwork to further protect it. My windows are really where I'm the most concerned about, because I don't want to paint these windows on the inside, but they've been sitting with basically raw wood for a while. If there's a finish on them, it's been a long time since that finish was put on them. I mean, it probably had linseed oil and maybe shellac on them at some point, or somebody just stripped them and tongue oiled them, whatever. They haven't been maintained, let's just put it that way. So they need something, and I can't paint them. I'm going to paint the exteriors, of course. I'm going to reglaze and paint the exteriors. And the linseed oil is recommended for when you take all the old putty and glazing out and the glass out and scrape everything down and get all the old paint off of it. You put a coat of that on there. It soaks into the wood. It helps preserve the wood. It feeds the wood. And then you paint and reglaze, put the glass in, reglaze it, and that will help preserve the windows. So, because these are 125 to 130-year-old windows, so I want to make them last at least another, you know, if they last another 50 years in my lifetime, that would be awesome. But if they last another 150 years, that would be even better. So, that's my plan. It's not my plan today. My plan today, at least, is just to get everything clean, because you always want to start clean when you're painting. And I'm not getting up on the ladder to get the cobwebs out of the corners. I have one of those cobweb wands, but these cobwebs are tenured, I think, and they're here forever unless I get up there and roust them out with a scrub brush, because I've tried the little cobweb cleaner and it just smeared them around the wall more. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. Let me know what you think. If you've restored an old house or you're restoring an old house, the other issue I have with my woodwork, especially around the windows, and I'm guessing it's because these windows haven't been maintained properly, a lot of the glass, the glazing is coming out and there's gaps around the windows. They don't have any storms on them. If I ever get another source of income or start a Patreon or something, that's going to be what the money's going to go toward, is restoring these windows and getting some storms and screens, especially for this south wall that's on the alley. They just take a beating from the weather so bad. But all of the woodwork, and I'll maybe take a little B-reel and show you here, all the wood trim. Now, has screw holes, nail holes, staple holes in it. And even like the doors, I just don't understand it. The windows I get because, again, when I moved in here, most of these windows had plywood screwed over them for security, which I understand. But all the way around. So I'm guessing at some point somebody just nailed plastic sheeting over them or something to keep the weather out. And I don't know how to go about filling the holes that it won't, I don't know enough to know. I don't know what I don't know. But what I don't know is if I fill the holes with wood putty or wood filler of some kind, and then try to stain them, shellac them, whatever, will they be really noticeable? Because my experience in the past, especially with darker woods, is that the wood putty tends to just look like spackle. So, and again, if I get big drapes over these windows, does it really matter if there's holes in the wood trim? I don't know. So again, another thing to comment on if you would, especially if you have experience with that. And it's also interesting, I can see now that not all my trim is the same, but I guess that's what you get. Generations of people just doing the best that they can do with what they got. And that's kind of where I'm at too. I'm trying to do the best I can do for this house, but I gotta stay within my means. Well, let me just say, there's a reason I don't do ceilings very often. I hate doing ceilings. It's a lot harder than it looks. Note to future Beth, the next time I do a ceiling, which will probably be this hallway, I'm gonna get a 14-inch roller. I used to have one, don't have it anymore, don't have the frame, don't have the tray, but using a 9-inch roller on a ceiling is a pain in the patoot. So I have one coat on. If one doesn't look too critically, it looks okay, but there's a couple spots. Could use a little touching up or a second coat. I think I have enough paint to do a second coat. Oh, good Lordy, I'm sweaty now. So I'm gonna take a little break, let this completely dry so I can see where my spots are. I also see that this spot on the ceiling that was the old water stain needs a coat of Kills or some other kind of primer because it's bleeding through. I was hoping, I don't know, I was hoping I bought good quality ceiling paint that it would just do it all in one, but no such luck. I should have known better. So I don't know how much more I'm going to get done today. I really want to get some wall color up. I really do. And after doing the ceiling, it's going to be a heck of a lot easier. But I've gotten better on the scaffolding as I went around the room. Didn't video all of it. But I'm less shaky, and therefore the scaffolding is less shaky as I get up there, get up and down. Getting up and down is a lot easier now. I've kind of got my muscle memory of comfort level of getting up and down. I still use the step ladder to, you know, final few steps, but so I think in general, and I didn't show you it before, and I don't think I'd show up on camera anyway, but it's drying. It's looking a little streaky when it first started drying, but now as it's drying more. There's a couple spots over where I first started, and over there that near where I cut in against the wall that I missed. So I'll go back and get those before I clean up and switch over to the green paint. But I'm gonna let this dry, let myself take a little snack break or this old house break or something like that, and come back at it fresh in a half hour or so. And yeah. Oh, and then I gotta go find my Kills primer. I know I have some. And either get up on the, I'll probably just roll the thingamahootie over there and get that spot, because that's the main reason I wanted to paint the ceiling in the first place, was to cover that spot. And there's another little spot too that I don't know if I just missed it rolling or if it's, but if I'm up there slapping Kills on, I might as well get it. So it is, oh my goodness, it's 1:15. So I didn't get real started this morning. I didn't go to Sherwin-Williams to get my paint until after 9. So, and shout out to Heather at Sherwin-Williams in Selma. She's a great gal, very helpful. And she told me, because I was going to get perhaps my hall paint, although I'm still debating colors. And I need some exterior, just exterior white. But I think I need a lot of that. I might get a 5-gallon bucket of that, because obviously I have a lot of white trim on this house that needs painting, but I'm gonna do my fence. And so I know it's gonna need more than a gallon, and I have a paint sprayer coming, so I'm gonna spray the fence, and hopefully that will make that job quicker and easier. But I didn't get any of that today because she told me Friday all their paint is going 40% off, and tools and supplies are 30% off. So I was like, well, let me get one cheap, well, cheap for Sherwin-Williams, but you know what I mean. What are the brushes? There we go. And just these 2 gallons of paint, because I didn't want to wait till Friday to get going on this job. I mean, I've waited months to start on this job, but so what's a few more days. But today I have nothing on my calendar. Tomorrow and Thursday I have some appointments during the day and things like that. And Friday, you never know what you might be doing Friday and Saturday. So anyway, I will be going back. She didn't tell me how long the sale lasted, but let's assume it lasts at least through the weekend. And get my exterior paint, because I need to repaint my little bench or my swing and my fence. And I kind of want to paint my swing a pretty happy color, but I think for now, just to preserve it, I'm gonna, if I get a bucket of white paint for the fence, I'll just scrape it and clean it up and put some white paint on it for now until I decide on the color. All right, well, I will see you back here, well, in a second for you, in about 30 minutes for me, because I need a little food and a little sit down and some more water. Whew, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. So, here's my color, at least wet. So it's getting to be almost 3 o'clock, and I have decided that I'm just going to see how much I can get on the walls. I didn't do any of my cutting in above the windows. If I had been really efficient with my time, I would have had a brush and a tub of the green when I was up there washing and cutting in the white, but I wouldn't have wanted to cut in the green against the wet white anyway, so I think I'm just going to get what I can get up today with the roller and then retroactively cut in up there tomorrow with the scaffolding. So here we go. Hey kitten, I really don't want to step on you, baby girl. We don't have any animal here. See me. I have the first coat on the first wall, and I gotta be honest, I'm not loving this paint. I love the color, but this, in the green room, which I guess now we're going to differentiate, but the craft room, that was Valspar from the local hardware store, and that went on really, really good, and I would have used that paint in every room of this house except for the local hardware store. Their paint mixing machine went down 4th of July and hasn't been back up since. So they were out. The blue room, I used Bayer something, I'll find the can, Medallion, I think. Is that one of them? I don't know. And from Home Depot. And I really liked that one. I mean, that was probably the tough, those two rooms were the two of the toughest colors to cover. This is, you know, not a hard color to cover, and it's not covering very well. I mean, the blue room, actually both rooms, the next morning, it was really hard to see where you still needed to put a second coat on. This is a mess. But hopefully once the roller cover gets more saturated with paint, this streakiness, because it's pulling, if I go over it again to smooth it, it pulls the paint off that I just put on. So it's not making me happy, but I knew it was going to need a second coat regardless. But now, because I had such good luck with those other two paints that, and they went so far and I had paint left over, I'm wondering if I'm going to have enough paint. in what I bought. I can always go buy another gallon, of course, but I shouldn't need twice as much paint for this room as I did the blue room, the lounge, because the lounge had more wall space. This is mostly windows in here. So I don't know, we'll see. But I'm gonna keep painting. I'm gonna quit videotaping, just so I can get cracking on this and get it done in the next hour or two. Okay. So the first coat is on. I still have to cut in up above. You can see how streaky it is. Which, ooh, bright light. It's hard to tell in this light. But yeah, I mean, I knew there was going to need to be a second coat. But I was really hoping the first coat would go on better than this. But I don't know, and I can't even say you get what you pay for, because I upgraded to their best paint. So that's disappointing. Oh, here, let me show you this too. Yeah, of course. You know, I did all the way around the room and only got one spot on the ceiling, but I should just pull the scaffolding over and get up there with a pad and scrub that off right now, and then just have to touch it up tomorrow, but I don't want to get up there right now. So I have a phone call coming in. So I guess I'm gonna go, then I'm gonna get cleaned up this mess and clean up my mess, this mess. Talk to you later. All right, today is Thursday afternoon and I'm still painting this damn room. I'm way up here on top of the scaffolding, and I have to say, I love this thing. It's definitely worth the money, and I've gotten really good at just scaling up and down the sides of it. And I'm up here calm as a cucumber. I'm not standing at the moment, so, but yeah, I've got my, whatever the scaffolding version of sea legs is. And so I'm feeling good. But let me see if I can show you my frustration right over my head. See that right there? That kind of jazz, and there's a little up in there. And I'll just turn you around here. This is after 2 coats, and I tried to be very, very careful and thorough. And there's just, you can't really see it, there's too much sheen on it over there. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. There is just, and of course it's all above window height, like it's all way high. I got everything in the lower part yesterday afternoon. But and I haven't opened my can yet. I have about this much paint in the bottom of my can. And this here, let me get the can over here. And my receipt is down in the other rooms. I don't have the receipt to look, but I have the Sherwin-Williams Duration, and it's I think it's their highest quality or close to their highest. I know they have their cashmere, which I might try for the hallway. I don't know. It gets excellent reviews. I cleaned everything really well. I don't know what I'm looking at here. It gets excellent reviews, and it's, it's supposed to be high durable, which I guess that's why it's called Duration. It's very durable paint, which is great if I ever get it to the point where I'm happy with it. But today I'm not gonna get the roller and all that jazz back out again, because I feel like I waste so much paint on the roller. Although above the chimney breast here, it looks like it needs a complete 3rd coat of roller paint. But I have my 2.5 inch or whatever this is, 3-inch paintbrush, and I'm just going to use right into the can and get the worst of it and hope for the best. If I'm still not happy with it tomorrow, the paint goes on sale tomorrow, 40% off, and I'll just buy a quart and roll. I mean, a quart won't do a full 3rd coat on the whole house, the whole room. Probably come pretty close though, but I can at least do most of it. I'm just very frustrated. And I've done dark colors like this before. I've used Sherwin-Williams almost exclusively before because that was what was available where I lived. That's what the professional painters used on our house in Chattanooga. Didn't do any dark colors in that house, so couldn't tell you coverage. And it was all builder's primer when we moved in. But I don't know. The only thing that could possibly be part of the issue was the roller cover, because it was just some random one that was in my painting supplies. So it could have been a crappy one that I had new ones that I had just bought. I don't know why I didn't use one of those other than this one was there. It was already open. I figured, why not? So I don't know. I'm just frustrated, very frustrated. And there's a spot over here. There's a section over here that this is my least favorite part of the wall to paint, and I've painted it 3 times. I've been up on this scaffolding fixing that. There's still spots. But yesterday was a very overcast, dark, rainy day. And it was really hard to see the spots when I was trying to touch it up. Today it is much brighter out. It is afternoon. The sun is going to be moving around to this side of the house. I can already see. So you can see it's already coming in the windows. So hopefully that will give me a better visual on what's going on. And I'll be able to get it good enough. But this is not good enough. This is wholly not good enough. It needs, I should have just bought another gallon when I bought, but I didn't want it. This stuff was expensive. I mean, I've said that before. It was like, I mean, paint's just generally expensive, so I shouldn't bitch. I mean, I know there are paints out there that are like $95 a gallon, and it wasn't that. But compared, I think what we paid in that room, in the green room Brenda and I painted, I think it was like $35 a gallon. This was double that. I did get a little discount, but not a big discount. I think the blue from Behr in Home Depot, I think was like $55 a gallon. And yeah, but anyway, I don't want to keep harping on the fact that this paint is pissing me off, because it could just be me. It could be a me problem and not a paint problem. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna get painting.